So it's settled then. Dr. Reprimand will accompany our representatives to the Midlands. We have no other option at this point.
This is utter madness, Halani. You're staking the survival of billions on the word of a discredited scientist, a man who lost his funding 3 decades ago for unethical research practices.
We're staking the survival of billions regardless of what we do. The projections are clear. Global resources will be depleted within 2 months. My nation's reserves are already critically low.
Servos is right. We either find a solution or we go to war. There is no middle ground anymore.
And you believe Reprimand's absurd claims? That there's some mysterious, true source of our scarcity? We know exactly what caused this. Centuries of unchecked consumption.
Of course we do, but Reprimand's satellite data shows something unusual in the Midlands, something that doesn't align with natural resource depletion patterns. We need to investigate.
This is a stalling tactic. You're trying to buy time while your covert operations continue in Antarctic Sector 3.
Enough with the accusations. My people are starving, god frickin' damn it. The Eastern Basin factories have shut down completely. We don't have the luxury of pointing fingers anymore.
My military advisors are pushing for preemptive action. They believe your Quadrant 7 is hiding significant lithium reserves. I've been holding them back, but I can't do so indefinitely.
Is that a threat, Lutron?
It's a reality, one we all face.
This is exactly why we need to pursue Reprimand's lead. What other options do we have? Continue this standoff until someone blinks? Launch a global war that will devastate what little we have left?
The last global conflict reduced Earth's population by 37%, and that was before resources became this scarce. We cannot afford another war. May I remind you of what happened to all of our capitals?
Oh, trust me, we remember. However, we cannot afford to waste time on wild goose chases. Reprimand claims there's some kind of, unknown entity consuming our resources? It's preposterous.
What he showed me was compelling. The thermal imaging from the Midlands shows that there is something there, something absolutely freaking massive.
How long has he been monitoring this?
Nearly 2 decades, working independently after his dismissal from the Global Science Coalition, using salvaged equipment. That's why his data is incomplete.
My science advisors have also noted anomalies in that region. We dismissed them as equipment malfunctions. Our technology isn't what it used to be, not with the rare earth shortages.
So we send representatives into a forbidden zone, based on incomplete data from a disgraced scientist, while our nations stand at the brink of war. The risk is enormous.
The risk is unacceptable. This could be an elaborate trap, designed to lower our defenses.
What would be the point? We're all watching each other like hawks. Any military movement would be detected immediately, and met with overwhelming force.
Exactly. This expedition changes nothing militarily, but it gives us a chance, a small chance. But right now, that's all we have.
And if it fails, if our representatives return empty-handed, or don't return at all,
then we proceed as we would have anyway, with the only language our species truly understands: violence.
My people cannot survive another conflict. The water purification systems are already failing. We've had riots in 3 major cities this week alone.
All the more reason to try this. Now let's discuss our representatives. They need to be capable, loyal, and frankly dispensable if this goes wrong.
That's cold, Halani, even for you.
It's realistic. We all know the Midlands are dangerous, unexplored for centuries since the Great Contamination. We can't risk sending anyone too valuable.
I have someone in mind. Tina Vaziri, former military strategist, now works in resource allocation. She understands what's at stake.
Charles Dumont, Special Forces, survived 3 expeditions into restricted zones. He'll report back accurately, regardless of what he finds.
This is insanity. But if we're doing this, Sean Mercer, Intelligence Division, skeptical by nature. He won't be fooled by tricks or illusions.
Bernard Cade will be my representative, former extraction specialist, now heads my security detail. He's loyal to a fault and knows how to survive.
When do we deploy?
Tomorrow at dawn. They'll converge at the coordinates Reprimand provided, each with their own escort.
Armed escorts, heavily armed.
Agreed. And if anything seems wrong, they pull out immediately.
Of course, I'm not sending Bernard to die, just to investigate.
This is our last peaceful option. I want that on record. If this fails, my nation will take what it needs to survive.
We all understand the stakes, Bernat. None of us want war, but we're all prepared for it.
My forces are already positioned, ready to secure the northern basin if needed. I've held them back only as a courtesy.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. The mission first. War only as a last resort. I'll have Reprimand prepare all his findings to share with the representatives.
Have him include his credentials, such as they are. I want Sean to know exactly who he's dealing with.
I'll inform Tina immediately. She'll need time to prepare. The Midlands aren't on any recent maps.
Charles always ready. That's why I chose him. He'll report directly to me.
Then we're agreed. Our representatives will meet in the Midlands. Follow Reprimind's instructions and report back what they find. In the meantime, we maintain our current positions. No aggressive movements, no resource grabs.
Until they return. Or don't, then all agreements are void.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that. For all our sakes.
Hope is a luxury. Preparation is a necessity. I'll be ready either way.
I'm creating a secure channel for our representatives, so they can coordinate directly. We'll monitor but not interfere. Agreed?
Agreed.
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 Then this summit is adjourned. May whatever gods remain watch over our people and our representatives.
Until we reconvene.
One way or another.
Indeed.
This is Bernard Cade, representative of Holani. Can everyone confirm receipt of this message?
Sean Mercer here, representing Brinat, though I think this is undoubtedly a wild goose chase.
Tina Vaziri confirming. Servo's representative. The situation back home is deteriorating rapidly. We need solutions, not more delays.
Charles Dumont, lieutenant représentant. Confirmed.
Good. Now that we're all here, let's be clear about what we're facing. Our nations stand at the brink of war. The last resources on Earth are nearly depleted, and we've been sent to investigate the claims of a scientist most considered questionable.
That's putting it mildly. Reprimind was expelled from the Scientific Coalition for unethical experimental procedures, and now we're betting the fate of humanity on his word.
What choice do we have? The Eastern Territories are already experiencing widespread power outages. 3 major water purification facilities shut down last week. People are panicking.
Similar situations in the northern regions. Martial law has been implemented in 6 provinces.
Which is why this mission is so critical. If Reprimind's information is correct, then there might be an explanation for our resource crisis. Something beyond simple depletion.
And if he's wrong, or worse, deliberately misleading us,
then our nations go to war. Global forces are already mobilizing. Positioned at strategic resource deposits, waiting only for the order to engage.
The death toll would be catastrophic. Our weapons may not be what they once were, but they're still capable of destroying what remains of civilization.
My nation is prepared for conflict, but prefers to avoid it if possible.
how did we come to this? Our ancestors stripped this planet bare, gorged themselves on resources for centuries, and now we're fighting over the scraps?
It's more than just resources. It's about who gets to continue. Which populations survive when there isn't enough for everyone.
That's why we can't fail. Hundreds of millions of lives depend on what we find, or don't find.
My country will survive, one way or another, but I pray Reprimand isn't leading us all down a rabbit hole.
I've reviewed his data. There are definitely anomalies in the Midlands. Energy signatures that don't match any known pattern.
Anomalies could be anything. Old radiation, equipment malfunction, or deliberate deception.
Even if there's only a 1% chance he's right, we have to investigate. The alternative is certain devastation.
Exactly. So here's the plan. We leave at dawn, each with our own heavily armored escort. We'll approach from 4 different directions, and meet at the coordinates Reprimand provided right in the center.
And if there's nothing there?
Then we all know what happens next.
War.
Has anyone actually been to the Midlands before? All our maps of the region are centuries old.
No one has officially entered the Midlands since the Great Contamination. It's been designated as uninhabitable.
Yet Reprimand claims to have data from there. A little interesting, if you ask me.
My briefing mentioned dense forest, unusual growth patterns, potentially hostile wildlife.
Our satellites show minimal details. There's some kind of interference, cloud cover that never dissipates.
That doesn't sound natural.
Nothing about this mission sounds natural. We're walking into unknown territory, based on the word of a madman.
Keep that skepticism, Sean. We'll need clear heads, but also open minds.
What exactly are we looking for? Reprimand wasn't specific in my briefing.
According to him, there's evidence of, well, this is where it gets strange. He believes there's an entity in the Midlands, something consuming resources on a massive scale.
An entity? What does that even mean?
Elaborate. He wasn't clear, but the thermal imaging shows something huge, and the resource depletion patterns all seem to lead to the Midlands, like something is drawing them in.
That's difficult to believe.
It's impossible to believe. Resources don't just get drawn in to some mysterious entity.
Unless someone is harvesting them, a hidden operation.
Who could hide something that massive for this long?
That's what we're going to find out, one way or another.
My escort is being prepared as we speak. 10 armored vehicles. 30 Special Forces soldiers.
Similar setup for me. Precursor surveillance. If conditions permit.
Heavy weaponry authorized. Full combat readiness.
Remember, this is reconnaissance, not an assault. We need information more than anything.
Information won't help if we're dead.
Has Reprimand provided any specific coordinates?
Yes, I'm sending them now. 45.7 degrees north, 23.6 degrees east, deep in the central Midlands.
That's at least a day's journey from any current settlement.
Difficult terrain. Limited extraction options if things go wrong.
We should maintain constant communication. Update every hour once we enter the Midlands.
Agreed. Signal might be unreliable though. Our comms teams are bringing amplifiers, but no guarantees.
Wonderful. so we might be on our own, in unexplored territory, looking for a mysterious entity.
We've all faced worse.
Have we? This feels much more intense.
Everything about our current situation is intense. Global resources are at critical levels. 4 remaining nations, all on the brink of mutual destruction.
When you put it that way, a suicide mission to the Midlands seems almost reasonable.
It's not suicide, it's hope, however slim.
Hope is for civilians. We deal in facts and actions.
Then let's focus on the facts. We leave at dawn. Approach from our respective territories. Meet at the coordinates. Document everything. And report back to our leaders.
Simple enough, until it isn't.
I'll be ready. My team is preparing final equipment checks now.
Confirmed. We'll proceed as planned.
Get some rest, everyone. Tomorrow might be the most important day in human history, or the beginning of the end.
Always the optimist, Burner.
Either way, history will remember us, if there's anyone left to write it.
Dawn, be prepared for anything.
Just crossed the border into the Midlands. Anyone else on the move yet?
Been on the road for 2 hours now. These old forests are thicker than I expected.
Same here. Terrain is becoming increasingly difficult.
Entered Midlands at 0600. Proceeding as planned.
How's everyone's comms holding up? We're experiencing some interference already.
Signal strength fluctuating, but holding for now.
I've got my tech specialist boosting our signal. Should be able to maintain contact, unless conditions worsen.
Mine is still functional, it seems. Barely.
Keep these updates coming. I want regular check-ins as we get deeper. If anyone loses contact, continue to the coordinates. Sean, how's your progress? The silence out here isn't making this any easier. My team hasn't even seen any wildlife for the past hour. Just endless trees and overgrowth. It's like the world forgot this place existed. Sean?
Sorry for the delay. We're experiencing strange phenomena. Signals dropping in and out. This forest feels extremely hostile. Everything is so much bigger than it should be.
What do you mean?
My navigator says we should have crossed Sector 7 by now, but the forest just keeps going. And our sensors are picking up anomalies.
What kind of anomalies?
Energy readings that make no sense, and the compass is going haywire. See that? It's spinning randomly, then stopping, then spinning again.
That's concerning. Any chance it's equipment malfunction?
We already checked. All systems were functioning perfectly before we entered the Midlands. Now they're all completely zapped.
We're experiencing similar issues. Maps don't seem to match the terrain. Almost like this place is constantly changing.
Is anyone else experiencing atmospheric distortions? My escort is reporting some crazy stuff happening with the air. It's like it's vibrating. My science officer says it's almost like standing near a massive generator, but there's nothing here. Just trees and more trees.
Sounds about right, to be honest. The forest is behaving strangely for all of us. Trees seem to shift when not directly observed.
But that's ridiculous.
I know what I'm seeing, Tina. Or rather, what I'm not seeing. A tree line that was directly ahead of us is now somehow behind us, without us even turning around.
Stay calm. Could be some kind of hallucination. The Midlands were heavily contaminated centuries ago. There could be compounds in the air affecting perception.
Something is watching us.
No kidding. Wait, excuse me?
You heard me. I can feel it. Eyes piercing through the back of my skull.
I've had the same feeling for the past hour. My security team is getting jumpy. One of them swears he saw movement between the trees. He couldn't describe it though, just shimmering. That word keeps coming up, and I don't think it means anything helpful.
Dr. Reprimand, what's happening in the Midlands? Our representatives are reporting strange phenomena.
Then that means they're getting closer. The veil is thin there. What exactly are they experiencing?
My operative reports spatial anomalies, trees changing position, compass malfunctions. This is outrageous. What have you sent them into?
It's happening faster than I anticipated. They need to proceed with extreme caution.
My representative mentions atmospheric disturbances, something about vibrations in the air, and a feeling of being watched.
It's aware of them then. This is both promising and concerning.
What exactly is it, Reprimand? You've been vague about this entity.
Because you wouldn't have believed me. None of you would have, but they'll see it for themselves soon enough. Please, you must wait for their confirmation. What I suspect? It's beyond anything humanity could have ever come up with in all our fiction.
This is a farce, Halani. We're being played. My analysts are questioning Reprimand's credentials. There are significant gaps in his history.
Burnett. Sean is a seasoned operative. He doesn't spook easily. There's something out there.
Status check, everyone. We've been traveling for 4 hours now. Should be approaching the coordinates soon.
Still en route, but something's wrong with time here. My chronometer says 4 hours, but it feels much longer.
Agreed, and the forest keeps getting thicker. We've had to slow our pace considerably.
2 hours from coordinates, if maps are accurate, which they may not be.
Stay focused. Whatever's happening, we need to complete this mission. The fate of our nations depends on it.
The vibrations are getting stronger. My science officer's equipment is going haywire. Nothing makes sense anymore.
The trees, they're growing as we watch. Branches extending, reaching out. This can't be natural.
My escort commander just reported the same thing. It's like the forest is alive. Not just living, but conscious.
Movement spotted, 300 meters north. Large, very large.
Can you identify it?
Negative, gone now, but it was there.
The feeling of being watched is overwhelming now. My entire team feels it. Some are becoming paranoid, seeing things in the corner of their vision.
Same with my team. And the air, it's like it's becoming thick, harder to breathe, not toxic, just heavy.
Stay calm, everyone. Remember your training. We knew this wouldn't be a normal expedition.
Normal? This is beyond abnormal. This defies explanation.
Focus on the mission. We keep moving. We find whatever's at those coordinates, and we get out. That's all that matters now.
Dr. Reprimand, we need more information now. Our representatives are reporting phenomena that defy explanation. What exactly have we sent them into? Be more specific.
I told you the data was unusual, but I didn't want to bias their observations with my theories.
Theories? Our people are in danger because of your theories? This is outrageous.
My operative Tina reports atmospheric disturbances growing stronger. She's saying the air itself feels heavy and viscous. What could cause something like that?
The veil is thinning, faster than I anticipated.
What veil? You keep mentioning this veil without explanation.
The barrier between what we perceive and what actually exists. For centuries, it's been hiding in plain sight, consuming our resources, growing stronger.
This is nonsense. Pure science fiction. I'm ordering Sean to abort the mission immediately.
No! They're too close now, you imbecile! Besides, turning back might be more dangerous than continuing. The entity is aware of them. If they attempt to leave without understanding what they're dealing with...
What would happen?
I don't know. That's what terrifies me.
Reprimand, I vouched for you. I put my representative in harm's way based on your information. If anything happens to Burner...
I understand your concern, but this is bigger than any one person. Bigger than all of us. The entity is what's been draining our world's resources. Not us. Not our consumption. It.
My analysts have been looking into your background, Reprimand. There are significant gaps, periods where you simply disappeared. Care to explain? You ignored me last time I asked.
I did not, so I will give you the same answer I've already given you. I was researching, in isolation. After the scientific coalition stripped my funding, I had to continue alone.
Sean is a seasoned operative, one of Bernat's best. He doesn't scare easily, yet his reports are deeply troubling.
Because what they're experiencing is real. The Midlands have been the entity's domain for centuries, perhaps longer.
How did you discover it? Why hasn't anyone else reported this before?
Because it doesn't want to be found. It manipulates perception, distorts reality. I only stumbled upon it by accident. An anomaly in resource depletion patterns, a mathematical impossibility that no one else noticed.
This is a farce, a delay tactic. While we sit here discussing fairy tales, real people are starving. Our once great cities are plagued by starvation, goddammit.
I understand your skepticism, but please, wait for confirmation. They're close now, so close.
Lutrant has been silent. What's your position on this? Lutrant?
Everyone's still online? The interference is getting worse on our end.
Still here, but again, I'm struggling to maintain this connection and reality at this point.
Present.
Here, things deteriorating rapidly.
Elaborate.
Trees moving, not swaying in wind, actually changing position when not observed.
It's the same for us. I keep watching this one massive oak. I turn away for a second, and when I look back, it's shifted. Not by much, but enough to notice. It's maddening.
The growth patterns are unnatural too. Some of these plants, they almost look like they're forming shapes, deliberate shapes.
Animals. They look like animals, made of roots and branches.
I'm seeing it too. One of my escorts swears he saw a deer, until it turned, and he realized it was entirely made of intertwined vines and branches. Then it melted back into the forest.
This is psychological warfare. Has to be. Some kind of hallucinogen in the air.
My science officer tested for toxins. Nothing registering on his equipment, though the equipment itself is behaving strangely. Digital readouts flickering, showing impossible values.
Distance to coordinates?
According to my navigator, my group should only be about an hour away, but that's assuming normal geographic rules apply here, which they clearly don't.
My team reports similar estimate, though time itself seems distorted. Minutes feeling like hours. Yet according to our chronometer, we've only been in the Midlands for 6 hours.
The vibrations in the air are getting stronger. It's like standing next to a massive speaker playing a note too low to hear, but you can feel it in your bones. Several of my team are experiencing nosebleeds.
Visual distortions increasing. Peripheral movement constant. Team morale decreasing.
Stay focused. Remember why we're here. The fate of billions depends on what we find.
The root animals are moving too, you know, following us, keeping pace, just out of clear sight.
Has anyone fired upon these phenomena?
Negative. Too afraid of what might happen if we do.
I ordered one warning shot an hour ago. The bullet, it just stopped in midair, then fell to the ground, like it hit something solid, but there was nothing there.
Physics breaking down, reality becoming thin. This matches ancient legends.
What legends?
Pre-war texts. Places where world grows weak, where other things can enter.
You're not helping, Charles. My team is spooked enough already.
Let's stick to observable facts. We're experiencing a power outage. 1. Spatial anomalies. 2nd. Rapid plant growth. 3. Atmospheric disturbances. 4th. Possible hallucinatory effects.
5. Technology malfunctions. 6. Feeling of being watched.
7. Root constructs resembling animals. 8. Physics disruptions.
9. And a growing sense that we should not be here.
Keep it together. We knew this wouldn't be normal, but we need answers. For our nations. For humanity.
At what cost? 3 of my soldiers are completely unresponsive now, just staring into the forest, unable to look away.
Similar issues here. 2 of my team are exhibiting catatonic symptoms. Their eyes, they're reflecting something none of the rest of us can see.
1 hour to coordinates. Maintain formation. Stay alert.
Agreed. Whatever is happening, we need to complete this mission. The alternative is global war and extinction.
I'm starting to wonder if that might be preferable to whatever awaits us at those coordinates.
Guys, I think I hear breathing.
Turn around, it's probably one of your soldiers.
I don't think so. It's coming from the top of the trees. I think it's found me. There's something in the trees, god damn it. Something massive. I can hear it breathing.
Is it an animal?
No animal breathes like that. It's like thunder, but rhythmic.
Well, can you see anything?
Engage with caution.
I'm ordering the convoy to stop. The ground... Oh god, the ground is moving! It's pulling down the lead vehicle. They're screaming! Everyone's screaming!
Burner? Burner!
What's happening? I can hear screaming from his direction, and we're kilometers away.
Confirm status. Burner, report.
They're being dragged under. The ground is alive! It's like quicksand, but worse. It's deliberately pulling them down. I'm getting out! Running. Oh my god, I see it! It's a Goliath.
See what? Burner, what do you see?
The screaming just stopped. I can't hear anything now. Just silence.
Burner, respond. Are you alive?
What's happening? I've lost contact with Burner's escort. All biosignals flatlined simultaneously except Burner's.
Sean reports hearing screaming, coming from Burner's direction.
It's happening. The entity is manifesting.
What entity? What entity reprimand? Be clear for once, you saggy prick.
The precursor to the First War. The being that has been consuming our resources for millennia. The reason behind humanity's very first conflict. It's revealing itself. And if we don't stop it, it will be the precursor to the last war as well.
Whatever. Burner is still alive. His biosignal is erratic. Heart rate off the charts, but he's moving.
This was a trap. You led us right into it.
No! I needed evidence. No one would have believed me otherwise. Your representatives are witnessing what I discovered. The true cause of our world's decline.
I'm alive, hiding, in a tree. My entire escort is gone. All of them, pulled into the earth in seconds.
Jesus Christ, Burner. What happened?
Something came out of the ground. The breathing was just a distraction.
What the hell did you see? Describe it, Burner.
Tactical assessment. Now.
It was, I don't have words, a figure, humanoid but wrong. It was taller than most of the trees, yet it was shimmering, like it wasn't fully there, but solid enough to kill everyone. It rose from the ground. The earth just opened up, and it emerged. Look at it. I managed one photo before I ran.
That can't be real. It just can't be.
Scale is impossible to determine without reference. How large would you estimate?
Those are full-size trees in the foreground. It dwarfs them. And its arms. They were so long, unnaturally long. And they reached down into the earth itself, like they were part of it. And then the ground around my convoy. It just softened, turned to something like liquid, but thicker, and it pulled everything down. Vehicles, people, everything. They didn't even have time to scream for long.
I'm ordering my convoy to halt. We need to reassess.
Same here. This is beyond our operational parameters.
Negative. We continue. Mission parameters unchanged.
Are you insane? Did you not hear what I just said? That thing killed 25 heavily armed soldiers in seconds.
Confirm its current location.
I don't know where it is now. It seemed to sink back into the ground. After it was done. With my team.
We need to abort then. This is suicide.
I agree with Sean. We're not equipped for this. No one could be.
It's real. Reprimanda was right. A giant thing. It's killing everyone. Burner just sent a photo.
The Precursor. It's showing itself after all this time.
Hell, number. It must be doctored. Some kind of elaborate hoax of yours.
Tina confirms visual sighting. She can hear it too. A deep rhythmic sound, like breathing, but amplified 1,000 times.
It's been hiding there in the Midlands for centuries, perhaps millennia, feeding on our world, draining its resources.
Burner reports his entire escort is gone. Pulled into the earth. He barely escaped. He's hiding in a tree.
I'm ordering Sean to retreat immediately.
No! They have to continue. Now that it's revealed itself, we need to understand it if we're going to stop it.
Stop it? You want us to fight that thing?
It's that or extinction. It won't stop consuming. It won't stop until there's nothing left.
I can still hear it. That breathing. It's moving through the forest. I think it's hunting me.
Can you make it back to our position? We can come and draw its attention.
No, there's no point. I'm not even sure which direction I ran. The forest all looks the same. And that thing, its face.
What about its face? Could you see details?
Not clearly. It was blurry, like looking through foggy glass, but it had a face full of holes. They were clear though. They were all looking right at me. They knew me. Somehow they knew me.
Stay hidden. Minimize movement. If it hunts by sight or sound, stillness may help.
It doesn't hunt by sight or sound. It knows where I am. I can feel it. It's like it's inside my head, searching.
What about the coordinates? Should we still proceed? Maybe there's something there that can help.
Help against that? What could possibly help us against something of that scale?
Information. Knowledge. We continue.
The breathing is getting louder. It's coming closer. I can feel the tree shaking. The ground is vibrating with each step. Wait. It stopped. Silence. Complete silence.
If it's what Dr. Reprimand suspects, and it really has been hiding in the Midlands for centuries, consuming our resources, we're not just fighting a creature, we're fighting a force of nature.
It's moving again, walking away. The ground shifts with each step, like liquid then solid again. I think it's heading toward the coordinates, following the same path we were.
That can't be coincidence.
It knows why we're here.
I'm going to follow it, at a distance. It might lead me to whatever is at those coordinates.
That's suicide. Stay hidden until we can reach you.
No, this might be our only chance to understand what we're dealing with. I owe it to my team, all those people who died.
Be careful then, Burner.
We'll continue toward the coordinates. We'll rendezvous there.
I'm moving now, keeping the entity in sight, but staying in cover. Its form is off, like it's not fully in our reality. Parts of it seem to fade in and out, but it's solid enough to kill, that's for sure.
It's been hours, and we're still not at the summit. Like, how? And Burner, are you still there?
I lost contact with him about 2 hours ago, right after he said he was following the entity.
Assume the worst, and proceed with caution.
My team is on high alert. We've slowed our approach to the coordinates, taking every precaution.
I hate this silence. Burner, if you can read this, please respond. Just a word? Anything?
Focus on the mission, Tina. Emotional response compromises judgment.
Easy for you to say. You're not even human, are you, Charles?
Humanity is a luxury right now. Survival isn't. And just because I'm part computer does not make me any less human than all of you.
Oh, no. Abu, hell no. That breathing sound Burner mentioned. I can hear it. And there's something else. A sort of vibration in the ground.
Tina, I'm gonna need you to calm down. Now, what's your exact location? Can we reach you?
No, stay back. It's here. The thing Burner described, coming through the trees. It's a goddamn titan. My team is firing. The bullets are just vanishing into it, like they're passing through fog. But it's solid enough to... Oh god, the ground is becoming liquid. Just like Burner said, everyone's sinking. I'm out of here. Running.
Second contact confirmed. Entity hostile. Abort approach to coordinates. Repeat. Abort mission.
I've lost contact with Tina's escort. All biosignals flatlined simultaneously, except for Tina's. She's moving rapidly, then stopping, consistent with evasive action. Thank God we equipped them with that new armor variant. PLOT armor seems to be keeping them safe enough.
Indeed. Just like Burner's pattern before he went silent. This can't be coincidence.
The Precursor is hunting them, you fools, one by one. This is worse than I feared.
My operative reports further visual confirmation of the entity. He describes it as beyond comprehension.
Reprimenda, what exactly are we dealing with?
I've been trying to tell you. The Precursor. It predates human civilization. Perhaps it predates humans entirely. It has been consuming our world's resources, growing stronger, hiding in plain sight.
Yep, well, but no, you're lying. Something that large can't hide for that long.
Yet our representatives are seeing it with their own eyes and dying because of it.
It doesn't exist fully in our reality. That's why it's been undetectable for so long. It slips in and out, taking what it needs, leaving just enough for us to survive. Until now.
I'm alive, hiding, like Burner was. But my entire escort, it's all gone. It happened so quickly. The ground just swallowed them.
Where are you now?
Who knows? Lost all sense of direction. I ran blindly through the forest until I couldn't run anymore. I'm in some kind of hollow tree, praying it can't sense me in here.
We've halted our advance. My team is terrified. Some are talking about desertion.
No sign of entity in my sector, yet, but the forest's behavior increasingly erratic. Trees shifting position more rapidly.
It's intelligent. The way it moved through my team, it knew exactly where to strike. It knew our weak points. And those eyes, so many eyes, all looking in different directions, but seeing everything.
Have you seen any sign of Burner?
No, I think he's gone. Like my team, we've lost so many people already.
Strange readings coming from the coordinates. Energy signature growing. Massive power spike.
You're still monitoring the coordinates?
Aerial drone. Keeping distance. Something is happening there.
What kind of readings?
Off the charts. Never seen anything like it. Like a star is being born, but underground.
That's from your aerial drone?
Affirmative. Taken from 500 feet altitude.
The trees around it, they're bending toward it, like they're being pulled or drawn to it.
Entity location?
I don't know. I can't hear it anymore. That's what terrifies me. The silence.
I've lost Burner's biosignal completely. It just vanished.
Tina is still alive, but hiding. Her escort is gone.
This is unprecedented. If Sean's report is accurate, this being is beyond anything we've encountered.
Of course it is. It's not of our world. Not completely. It exists between realities.
So all this time, our resource wars, our conflicts, we've been fighting over scraps, while this thing has been the true culprit?
Yes, that's what I've been trying to tell you. The mathematical models never made sense. Resources were depleting far faster than human consumption could account for, but no one wanted to admit it, because the alternative was unthinkable.
You said it's hiding resources? Where?
Deep within the Midlands, it's been accumulating them for eons. Building something?
I'm officially aborting this mission. I'm ordering my team to retreat.
No, wait! There's movement at the coordinates. Massive seismic activity.
What is that light? It's so bright, even through the drone camera.
Unknown, but energy readings are unprecedented. The drone's sensors are overloading.
I don't care if God himself is emerging from that crack. We're leaving. This is suicide.
Wait. I see something. Movement in the trees. Burner? Is that you? Burner.
You see Burner? Where?
No, it's not him. It's, oh God, it found me. It's right outside. One of its fingers is bigger than this tree. I can see it. I can see it through the trunk. Like the wood is becoming transparent.
Run. Now!
No point. It's too late. It sees me. Those eyes. So many eyes. And they're all looking at me now. I'm so screwed. Unless...
Tina, respond. All right, that's it. We're leaving. Now, before that thing finds us too.
Negative. Something coming from coordinates. Multiple signatures. Similar to entity, but smaller. They're spreading out throughout the forest.
Multiple entities? How many?
Dozens. Perhaps hundreds. Emerging from the light. What if we just awakened?
It's time. Prepare yourselves. This is going to be a lot. I've been monitoring the Precursor for decades, tracking its movements, its consumption patterns. The resources aren't just being consumed. They're being stockpiled.
Stockpiled? For what purpose?
I believe, and this is based on years of observation, that it's building something. A gateway, perhaps. A means to bring more of its kind here.
That's preposterous. A creature from another reality. Building a gateway, and we somehow never noticed it before?
We couldn't see it. It operates just beyond our perception, in the thin space between realities. But now that it's revealed itself, now that it's attacking openly, we have confirmation of what I've suspected all along.
What changed? Why now? Why reveal itself after hiding for so long?
Because it's nearly finished. Whatever it's building, it no longer needs to hide. It no longer fears us.
Can we stop it?
There's a chance, a small chance, but we have to act together, all our remaining forces, united against a common enemy.
This is insanity, but I witnessed it through Sean's feed. There's no denying what we saw. A colossus coming to consume our people.
So what do we do? How do we fight something that exists between realities?
Your armies, the ones you've positioned to fight each other, they need to be redirected to the Midlands, to the Precursor.
A coordinated attack against that thing?
It's our only hope. Otherwise, it will continue consuming until there's nothing left, until humanity is extinct.
I still don't fully trust you, Reprimand, but I trust the evidence. And the evidence is undeniable. This thing is real, and it's killing our troops.
Then for the first time in decades, perhaps we need to stand together as one species, rather than four competing nations.
Jesus, I think I finally have a second to breath. It nearly had me about 5 times.
Burner, thank God. Where have you been?
Hiding, moving, trying to stay ahead of that thing. It's like it can sense me, but not perfectly.
Guess what, bitches? I'm alive too. I managed to escape. Crawled into a foxhole. It passed right over me.
Current positions?
I'm near the coordinates. I can see the light. It's Mesmerizing.
I'm not sure where I am, but I'm moving toward the light too. It's the only landmark I can use.
We've stopped our advance. My team is divided. Some want to press on, others want to retreat.
The smaller entities are spreading throughout the forest, searching, hunting.
I've seen them. They're like miniature versions of the main entity, but still larger than a human. Translucent, shifting, with too many limbs.
They move differently, though. More mechanical, like they're remote-controlled.
I've received new orders from Brinat. They're preparing a military response.
Same here. Halani is mobilizing everything.
Servos, too. All forces redirected to the Midlands.
Lutrin's army's already moving. This will be one hell of a battle.
We need a coordinated assault. All forces deployed simultaneously, from all directions. It's the only way we might stand a chance.
Against that thing, I watched it destroy Burner's entire escort in seconds. How do we fight something like that?
With everything we have, our most advanced weaponry. This isn't a conventional enemy. We need unconventional tactics.
We target the light, whatever's generating it. That has to be its weakness, or at least the source of its power.
Agreed. Primary objective: neutralize energy source. Secondary: contain or eliminate entity.
And if we can't, what if our weapons are useless, like they were for your escorts?
Then we try something else. We adapt. We improvise. We overcome.
We have no choice. It's fight or perish.
Brinat, Servos, Lutron, are we in agreement?
For the survival of humanity, yes.
We have no other choice.
Deploy everything.
My forces are already mobilizing all available units, including experimental weapons.
Same. Full deployment. Northern and eastern flanks.
Southern approach, with air support, if the atmosphere allows it.
Western assault. Heavy artillery leading.
This must be coordinated. A simultaneous attack from all sides. To overwhelm it, to prevent it from focusing its defense.
Burner reports the entity is near the coordinates, along with smaller versions, dozens, perhaps hundreds of them.
Sean confirms the same. Says they move like drones. Extensions of the main entity.
How do we communicate with our forces? The interference in the Midlands is significant.
I've developed a signal booster. Based on the frequency the entity operates on, it should cut through the interference, allow for clearer communication.
You've had this all along and didn't share it?
I wasn't sure it would work until I confirmed the entity's existence. Now I am.
Send it immediately to all our forces. Every second counts.
Transmitting now. But remember, this entity isn't just powerful. It's ancient, intelligent. It's been planning this for millennia.
And we're supposed to stop it in a day?
We have to try, or everything ends.
We need a plan, a detailed one, based on what we know about this thing.
We know it can manipulate the ground, turn it liquid, to consume victims.
We know conventional weapons seem ineffective. My team reported bullets passing right through it.
Energy weapons might be more effective against a semi-corporeal entity.
We should also consider targeting the smaller entities. They might be easier to destroy and could weaken the main one.
What about explosive devices, placed at the coordinates, to destroy whatever it's building?
That would require getting close. Too close.
Maybe not. If we could create a distraction, draw the main entity away, while a small team plants the explosives.
High risk, but potential high reward. Who would volunteer?
I'll go. I've gotten close before, and survived.
I'll go too. It nearly had me once, but I learned how to avoid it. Its perception has blind spots.
This is suicide, but I'll provide tactical support and a diversion.
I will coordinate with incoming forces. Ensure synchronized attack.
We need to move fast. The entity is growing stronger. I can feel it. The air is getting thicker, the forest more distorted.
How much time until our armies arrive?
Estimates suggest 3 to 4 hours. For vanguard units, main force, 6 hours.
That might be too long. Whatever it's building, whatever that light is, it's growing brighter, more intense.
Maybe we should wait. For the armies, what can the four of us really do?
We can gather intelligence, map the area, identify weaknesses.
Sean's right. We need to be the eyes and ears for our forces. Guide them when they arrive. Tell them where to strike.
Agreed. Reconnaissance priority, especially energy source.
All right, I'm moving closer to the light. We'll report what I find, but staying out of sight.
Be careful, all of you. We've lost too many already. We can't afford to lose anyone else.
For a species that spent centuries trying to kill each other, we're suddenly very concerned about each other's survival.
Common enemy, powerful motivator.
Maybe this is what humanity needed. A reminder that we're all in this together, that our squabbles are meaningless in the face of true extinction.
Let's hope we survive long enough to remember that lesson. All right, everyone, let's get organized. Holy crap, though. They actually sent a chopper out to get me. Currently heading back to forward command. Should be there in 30. Signals finally stabilizing. The armies of all 4 nations are converging on the Midlands. We need to coordinate this assault properly, or a lot of people are going to die for nothing.
My superiors are requesting tactical assessments. What exactly are we up against? Beyond big scary monster.
Based on what I've seen, the main entity is approximately 300 feet tall, semi-corporeal. Conventional weapons pass through it, but it can interact physically with our world when it chooses to.
Smaller entities, approximately 3 to 4 feet tall, similar similar properties, but appear more solid.
I'm sending a schematic of the area, based on aerial reconnaissance.
This is going to be a nightmare, coordinating 4 different armies that historically hate each other against an enemy we barely understand.
We don't have a choice. The energy signature is increasing exponentially. Whatever it's building, it's nearing completion.
Tactical options, concentrated force, or distributed attack.
Dr. Reprimand suggests targeting the light source. He believes it's the focal point of whatever the Precursor is building, possibly a gateway or a power source.
So we concentrate our firepower there? What about the entity itself?
Both. We need a 2-pronged approach. One force focuses on the light source. The other keeps the entity occupied, prevents it from interfering.
The smaller entities will complicate this, you know. They're spreading throughout the forest, creating a defensive perimeter.
I'm getting updated intel from Halani's command. The vanguard units will arrive at the forest edge in approximately 45 minutes. Heavy artillery and air support in 2 hours. If we're going to do this, we need a solid plan now.
I can map approach vectors for Brinat's forces. They're coming in from the north and east. Heavily armored units leading, with long-range support behind.
Servo's forces are approaching from the south. Quick response units first, then heavier mechanized divisions.
Western approach, artillery leading, then infantry, with air support if atmospheric conditions allow.
What about the energy signatures I detected earlier? There were multiple hotspots, not just the central light.
I've been analyzing those. They appear to be connection points, where the entity's realm interfaces with ours. Potentially vulnerable areas. If we target those specifically,
it might disrupt whatever it's building.
Exactly, like severing neural pathways before attacking the brain.
Requires precise targeting and coordination. Our forces aren't used to working together.
That's where we come in. Each of us will coordinate our nation's forces, while maintaining communication with each other. I'll relay overall strategy from command.
The timing has to be perfect. If one force attacks too early, the entity could concentrate its defense there and pick them apart.
Agreed. Synchronized attack on all connection points, then immediately target the central light while the entity is destabilized.
Collateral damage concerns. The resources it's hoarding could be destroyed in the assault.
Secondary priority. First, we neutralize the threat, then worry about recovery. Well, this is what I'm proposing. All forces hold at forest perimeter. Artillery targets the 5 connection points simultaneously that lead into the forest. Then all ground forces advance immediately, while the entity is responding to those attacks.
And air support?
Concentrated on the central light, if they can get through the atmospheric disturbances, which is a big if.
What about the smaller entities? The drones?
Secondary targets. Special forces teams, operating independently, to clear paths for main forces.
I'm getting updated reconnaissance. The entity is remaining near the central light, almost guarding it, but the smaller entities continue to spread. Their numbers are increasing.
How quickly?
Dozens every hour. They seem to be emerging from the light, like it's creating them.
Another reason to target it first. Cut off the source.
What about an electromagnetic pulse? If the entity operates on energy, maybe we can disrupt it.
Worth trying. I'll add EMP devices to the initial strike, though we don't know if it will have any effect.
Weapons effectiveness, based on observations?
Conventional bullets, minimal to no effect. Explosives, some disruption, but it reforms. Energy weapons, untested but potentially more effective. Heavy ordnance might slow it down.
The smaller entities seem more vulnerable. One of my soldiers managed to destroy one, before the rest of them got him. High energy plasma discharge. Disrupted its form completely.
We have those capabilities. Limited supply, but enough for an initial assault.
I'm getting confirmation from Halani. All forces are greenlit for the operation. Codename Daybreak. They're awaiting final tactical uploads.
Brinat confirms. All northern and eastern forces standing by.
Southern approach ready. Final preparations underway.
Western forces in position. Artillery calibrated. Awaiting command.
Uploading final tactical package now. This is it. Humanity's last stand.
No pressure or anything.
It's a solid plan. As good as we're going to get, given the circumstances.
Simple enough to execute. Complex enough to be effective. If all forces maintain discipline.
I'm receiving live drone footage of the entity. It's changing. Getting larger. More solid.
It's manifesting more fully in our reality. That can't be good, but it might make it more vulnerable to physical attacks.
Or more dangerous, if it can affect our world more directly.
Time to attack?
T-minus 20 minutes. All forces in final position by then. Synchronizing command channels now. Each of you will coordinate your nation's forces. I'll maintain overall battlefield awareness.
Understood. Southern forces ready. Targeting coordinates locked.
Eastern forces prepared. Northern approaching final positions. ETA 15 minutes.
Western artillery locked. Infantry prepared. All systems go.
This is it then. Operation Daybreak commences in T-minus 20 minutes. May whatever gods remain have mercy on us all.
We make our own mercy today.
For humanity.
For survival.
All forces in position.
Northern and Eastern ready, awaiting final command.
Southern forces prepared. All targets designated.
West standing by. Artillery calibrated.
Remember, the central light is the key. Whatever it's building, whatever it's channeling, that's where its power is concentrated.
All forces will target it after the initial synchronized strikes on the connection points.
Good. This is our only chance. If we fail,
We won't fail. Humanity has faced extinction before. We've always survived.
Never against something like this, but I appreciate the sentiment.
Sentiment is irrelevant. Execution is all that matters. My forces will not falter.
None of our forces will. For the first time in centuries, we fight as one species, for our very existence.
Operation Daybreak. T-minus 10 minutes. May you succeed where I could only warn.
You've done your part, Reprimand. Now it's time for us to do ours.
Operation Daybreak commencing in 3, 2, 1. Mark! All artillery units firing.
Confirmed. Northern and Eastern batteries engaged. Multiple salvos unleashed.
Southern artillery firing. Target acquisition confirmed. Direct hits on connection points 3 and 5.
Western batteries engaged. Targeting connection points 1 and 2.
Aerial view coming in. Initial impact successful. All 5 connection points hit simultaneously. Ground forces advancing.
The entity is responding. Oh god. It's releasing some kind of energy pulse.
Confirmed. Massive energy surge from central light. Readings off the charts.
First wave taking heavy casualties. Entity is firing energy blasts. Target seems random, but devastatingly effective.
Redirect artillery. Focus on the central entity. Try to disrupt its attacks.
Northern forces encountering smaller entities. Hundreds of them, emerging from the forest. Plasma weapons effective but limited supply.
Southern advance slowed. The ground it's becoming unstable, liquefying under our heavy units. We're losing tanks, entire platoons.
Western artillery redirecting. Targeting central light. No visible effect. Entity appears undamaged.
Air support incoming. ETA 2 minutes. Atmospheric conditions deteriorating, but pilots pushing through.
Eastern flank breaking through. We've neutralized a cluster of smaller entities, advancing toward connection point 4.
Casualties mounting. Southern advance stalled, requesting reinforcements.
Redirecting reserves from Central Command. ETA 5 minutes to southern flank. Hold position.
Western forces encountering strong resistance. The smaller entities they're sacrificing themselves, creating a barrier, absorbing our firepower.
Same on northern approach. They're intelligent, coordinated, like a hive mind.
AIR support engaging. Multiple direct hits on central light. Entity responding. It's reaching for them.
The entity is extending upward, its form elongating, trying to reach the aircraft.
2 aircraft down. The entity's reach is incredible. Remaining aircraft taking evasive action.
Northern forces have reached connection point 2. Deploying electromagnetic pulse devices. Detonation in 3, 2, 1. Effect. The connection is disrupting. Energy signature destabilizing.
Confirmed. Connection point 2 is weakening. Entity reacting. It's screaming.
That sound, it's everywhere. Our comms are being overwhelmed. Troops reporting extreme disorientation.
Western forces pushing forward, taking advantage of entity's distraction. Approaching connection point 1.
Southern reinforcements arrived. Resuming advance. Heavy casualties, but moving forward.
Status report.
Northern and Eastern forces engage. Heavy resistance, but connection point 2 has been weakened.
Southern advance initially stalled, now resuming with reinforcements. Casualty rates exceeding 30%.
Western approach continuing. Slower than anticipated, but steady progress.
The EMP worked. That confirms my theory. The connections are vulnerable to energy disruption. Focus all EMP devices on remaining connection points.
Redirecting resources now. All EMP devices prioritized.
The entity's defenses are stronger than anticipated. We're losing people faster than predicted.
But we're making progress. For the first time, we've wounded it. It can be hurt.
Of course it can. It's powerful. Ancient, but not invincible. Nothing is.
Casualty projections?
Current trajectory suggests 60 to 70% losses across all forces.
Acceptable. If we succeed.
Those aren't just numbers. Those are people. Our people.
Who die either way if we fail, but have a chance if we win.
Precisely. This is humanity's last stand. Everything is at stake.
We've lost connection point 2. Repeat. Connection point 2 is down. Entity visibly weakened on that side.
Southern forces have reached connection point 3. EMP devices deploying, fighting through smaller entities. They're everywhere.
Western forces at connection point 1. Heavy resistance. Entity focusing attacks here. Casualties extreme.
Air support regrouping. Second wave incoming. Targeting central light directly with bunker busters.
Those won't penetrate if the light is interdimensional.
They're modified with the same EMP technology, Dr. Reprimand's design.
EMP activated at point 3. Effect confirmed. Connection destabilizing. Entity responding with massive ground liquefaction. We're losing the forward units, but the EMP is working.
Point 1 heavily defended. Request additional firepower. Entity focusing majority of smaller constructs here.
Redirecting northern units. To support western approach. ETA 10 minutes. If they survive the crossing.
Second airstrike commencing. Direct hits! EMP modified bunker busters detonating. Central light fluctuating. Entity reacting violently.
It's collapsing in on itself. No, it's changing form, becoming more dense, more physical.
Confirmed. Entity solidifying, but smaller in size, more concentrated.
Is that good or bad?
Unknown, but it's definitely reacting to our attacks. That's something.
Connection point 3 down. I repeat, point 3 neutralized. Energy signature collapsed. Entity visibly weakened.
Heavy casualties at point 1, but holding position. EMP devices being moved forward.
2 connection points down, 3 to go. Central light dimming slightly. Entity becoming more erratic.
The smaller entities, something's wrong with them. They're losing cohesion. Some are just collapsing.
Same in southern sector. The drone entities are failing, like they're losing power.
Main entity feeding on them, absorbing their energy to maintain itself?
Possible, which means it's desperate. Push the advantage. All forces converge on remaining connection points.
Northern forces redirecting to point 5. Fastest route. ETA 15 minutes.
Southern forces moving to point 4. Heavy losses but advancing.
Western still engaging at point 1. EMP activation imminent.
Air support has taken heavy losses. Remaining aircraft focusing on central light. Continuous bombardment.
The entity is changing tactics. It's concentrating smaller entities at remaining connection points, creating dense defensive clusters.
Confirmed at point 5. They're forming a physical barrier, like a wall of flesh.
EMP activating at point 1. Detonation confirmed. Effect? Partial. The defensive cluster absorbed some of the impact. Connection weakened, but not destroyed.
Modify approach. Target defensive clusters first, then deploy EMP. Use explosive rounds, incendiaries.
Implementing at point 4. Switching to thermal weaponry.
Same at point 5. Engaging defensive cluster with concentrated fire.
Repositioning at point 1. Preparing second EMP after clearing defensive cluster.
2 connection points neutralized. Entity showing signs of weakening.
But adapting its tactics, creating defensive barriers at remaining points.
Casualties exceeding projections. 55% losses already, but troops maintaining cohesion.
Western forces engaging point 1. Partial success with EMP. Preparing second attempt.
The entity is physically manifesting more fully, becoming more solid. This is critical. It means it's vulnerable.
Vulnerable, but still incredibly powerful. Our forces are being decimated.
But making progress. The smaller entities are failing, losing cohesion.
The main entity seems to be feeding on them to maintain its strength.
As I predicted, it's desperate, consuming its own extensions to preserve its core.
Then we press harder. All reserves committed. No holding back.
Agreed. Everything we have, right now.
For humanity.
For our future.
For survival.
New orders from command. All reserves committed. Total offensive on all fronts.
Southeastern reserves moving up. Heavy weapons teams. Targeting point 4 defensive cluster.
Northern committing everything, including experimental units, at point 5.
Western forces regrouping. Second EMP being positioned. After artillery barrage.
Central command deploying final air wing. All remaining aircraft. Targeting central light. No holding back.
Breakthrough at point 5. Defensive cluster compromised. EMP moving into position.
Point 4 under heavy assault. Defensive cluster weakening, but heavy losses. Over 60% of Southern forces gone.
Point Ichi EMP activated. Full effect. Connection destabilizing. Collapse imminent.
Final airstrike commencing. Multiple direct hits. Central light fluctuating wildly. Entity convulsing.
It's weakening. We can do this.
EMP activating at point 5. Detonation confirmed. Full effect achieved. Connection point collapsing.
Point 1 down. Repeat. Connection point 1 neutralized. Entity visibly destabilizing.
3 down, 2 to go. Central light dimming significantly. Entity losing cohesion in some areas.
Point 4 defensive cluster broken. EMP positioning. Activation in 3, 2, 1. Confirmed. Point 4 destabilizing. Connection collapsing.
Point 5 down. All northern connection points neutralized. Entity partially collapsed on northern side.
All connection points neutralized. Central light fluctuating violently. Entity transforming.
It's changing shape, becoming more concentrated, but also more solid.
All remaining forces converge on central light. Everything we have left.
This is it! The final push. All remaining units. Target the central light with everything you've got. It's down! It's down! Point 4 has been successful. That's all the EMPs. The central light is collapsing. Final concentrated assault underway. All remaining forces converging. Entity in visible distress.
Northern forces moving inward. Heavy weapons firing continuously. Entity struggling to maintain form.
Southern remnants advancing. Target locked on central light. Final push commencing.
Western forces engaged. Artillery focused on light source. Direct hits confirmed.
The entity it's thrashing, lashing out in all directions. Casualties mounting.
It's desperate, fighting for survival, but we've got it cornered.
Central light flickering. Becoming unstable. Energy readings fluctuating wildly.
Maintain pressure. No retreat. Final assault phase.
The light is collapsing. Entity convulsing violently. Ground shaking, like an earthquake.
Taking cover. Energy surge detected. Possibly final defensive measure.
Brace for impact. Energy building to critical levels.
All forces, take cover. Imminent detonation.
It's happening! Massive energy release! Signal lost. How the hell are we still alive? Barely. Checking surroundings. The light is gone. Completely gone.
Confirmed. I see no trace of the central light. Just darkness and silence.
Entity status. Visual confirmation.
Sending drone to verify. Stand by.
Status report. What's happening?
Massive energy surge detected, then nothing. All readings flatlined.
Satellite imagery shows what appears to be an explosion, then darkness.
Casualties? Entity status?
The energy signature, it's gone. Completely disappeared, like it was never there.
And the entity?
Drone feed incoming. Visual confirmation of entity. Appears inert.
Movement? Any signs of life?
Negative. No energy signatures. No movement. Form appears solid, not translucent as before.
I'm moving forward with my remaining team, approaching cautiously. It's massive, but definitely not moving. No signs of the smaller entities either.
They must have been extensions of it. When it died, they died.
Confirmed kill? Can we state that definitively?
As definitively as possible. No energy readings. No movement. No response to stimuli.
There's something else. Under the entity. The ground is a different. Shimmering?
Define shimmering.
Like metal or crystal. I can't tell from here. Moving closer.
Proceed with extreme caution. Maintain safe distance.
I'm dispatching recovery teams to assist and investigate.
Oh my god. You won't believe this. It's resources, raw materials, more than I've ever seen.
What kind of resources?
Everything. Energy crystals, rare metals, elements we thought extinct. It's like a treasure trove.
Confirmed. Drone showing massive deposit, extending deep below surface. Preliminary scan suggests enough to sustain global needs for centuries.
It was hoarding them all this time. Everything we've been fighting over. It had stockpiled beneath the Midlands.
This changes everything. The resource wars, they're over. If we can extract these materials,
if we can share them equitably, without falling back into old patterns.
That's a political question, beyond our scope, but the strategic implications are profound.
Recovery teams arriving, securing the site. Preliminary estimates of the deposit's value are, well, there isn't even a number for it. It's beyond calculation.
We did it. We actually did it. We defeated that thing and discovered this.
At what cost, though? The casualties are staggering.
Price of survival, necessary, but now we honor them by using this discovery wisely.
All forces moving to secure perimeter. Scientific teams inbound. This is going to take time to process. Both the victory and what we've found.
Victory confirmed. The entity has been neutralized.
And the resources? The reports are? Is it true?
The preliminary scans suggest more raw materials than we've seen in our lifetimes. Energy crystals, rare metals, everything.
Quantities?
Beyond our initial projections, the Precursor was hoarding on a scale we couldn't have imagined, enough to end scarcity for generations.
So all this time, our wars, our conflicts, while this entity stockpiled what we needed, right under our noses.
The casualties are enormous, but we won, and we discovered something that changes everything.
How do we proceed? With extraction? With distribution?
Carefully. This is an unprecedented situation.
I suggest a unified approach. The old national boundaries, they seem rather meaningless now, don't they?
Perhaps they are. Perhaps this is an opportunity to rethink everything.
One step at a time. First, we recover our dead, honor their sacrifice. Then we build something worthy of them.
Together.
Together.
5 years today, since the Battle of the Midlands, since we faced the Precursor.
Hard to believe it's been that long. Sometimes it feels like yesterday. Other times, like another lifetime.
The memorial ceremony was beautiful. So many people from all over the world.
Unity has persisted. Unexpected outcome, but welcome.
Who would have thought that the thing that nearly destroyed us would ultimately bring us together?
The resources changed everything. The Global Resource Authority seems to be managing distribution fairly. No more scarcity. No more resource wars.
Did you see the latest figures? We've barely scratched the surface of the deposits, and what we've extracted has fueled a renaissance in technology, art, culture.
Satellite network completed last month. full global coverage, first time since the old wars.
And the environmental restoration project is ahead of schedule. Some areas that were dead zones for centuries are showing signs of recovery.
I still have nightmares, though, about the entity, those eyes. Do you think there are more of them out there somewhere?
The Deep Space Monitoring Program hasn't detected anything, but we're still looking. Better to be prepared.
Defense system operational. Global shield nearly complete. We won't be caught off guard again.
Sometimes I wonder, what if we hadn't gone to the Midlands that day? What if we hadn't discovered the truth?
We'd have destroyed ourselves, fighting over scraps, while the real enemy consumed everything.
Ironic, isn't it? The thing that nearly killed us all, saved us from ourselves.
Cosmic perspective, forced upon us, but necessary.
10 years since the unification, the World Council's first decade. It feels significant.
Remember when we were enemies? Ready to launch our armies against each other? Seems so petty now.
The old borders have all but disappeared, both physically and psychologically. Most children born today don't even know them.
Practical outcome. Resource distribution more efficient, without arbitrary divisions.
Dr. Reprimand would be proud. His warnings, his persistence, they saved us all.
The Precursor Memorial in the Midlands is now the most visited site globally, a reminder of what we faced and overcame.
The resource deposits continue to yield materials we didn't even know existed, fueling innovations we couldn't have imagined.
Space program advancing rapidly. First lunar colony established. Mars mission launching next year.
All because we were forced to work together, to face a common enemy, and discovered abundance where we expected only death.
Do you think there are more? Other entities like the Precursor waiting out there?
The Deep Space Monitoring Network grows each year. If there are, we'll find them, before they find us.
And we'll be ready, united, prepared.
The Great Filter. That's what Reprimand called it. The challenge every civilization must overcome to survive long enough to reach the stars.
We thought our filter would be self-destruction, war over dwindling resources, environmental collapse.
Instead, it was something we never imagined, an ancient entity, consuming our world from the shadows.
And in facing it, we discovered a simple truth. United we survive, divided we perish.
The children born today will never know the fear of resource scarcity, the dread of environmental collapse. They look to the stars with hope, not desperation.
A fragile brightness. That's how I describe our future now. Fragile because we know what lurks in the darkness. Bright because we faced it and survived.
To the next decade then, and the one after that, to humanity united and reaching for the stars.
To survival, against all odds.
Humanity faced its great filter, not in the form of self-destruction, but in the terrifying guise of an ancient, resource-devouring entity, and in doing so had finally, against all odds, surpassed it.
To the future and the endless horizon before us.
Together.
Together.